Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Today we want to also bring another interesting issue that is happening around the state of emergency rule that has been declared in Rivers State by the President of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And if you can recall, there has been political crisis in Rivers State, and this crisis is between the Honorable Minister of the FCT, the former governor of Rivers State, Honorable Mr. Wike, and the current governor, Governor Sim Fubara. He succeeded Wike, and Wike also supported him to emerge as the governor of Rivers State. But there has been political crisis, so there is a problem between the two of them. All right, so today basically what I want us to do is to carry out an analysis of the conflict to know what has happened. So we have a particular tool we are going to use to carry out the analysis of this particular conflict, so that we know the root causes of the problem, the root causes, and the effect of this problem. Do you understand? So maybe subsequently we'll look at the consequences of this crisis on both parties, the major parties to this conflict and the state at large. Do you understand? So this is what we want to do today. So I want you to come with me as we go through this. Then if you have any contrary opinion, you can say it in the comment section. All right, but I want us to look at this issue together. All right, so today we are going to look at the state of emergency in Rivers State that has been declared by the president. So now we want to know what happened. What happened that has led to the declaration of the state of emergency in Rivers State? This is what I want us to do this very day. And we are going to use what we call the conflict analysis 3, all right? Or the conflict 3 analysis, all right? That's the tool we are going to use. The conflict 3 analysis, all right? That's the tool we're going to use to carry out this analysis. All right, just come with me as we go into it together. All right, so this is conflict analysis 3 or conflict 3 analysis, whichever way you want to put it. I think it should be like this. All right, conflict 3 analysis. All right, so we define this particular tool as a tool that helps us to understand the core problem, and also help us to determine the root causes of the problem, and also to understand the effect of the problem. Do you understand? This particular tool helps us in conflict resolution to determine and examine these core problems, the root causes, and the effect of the core problem or of the issue. So today we are going to look at the issue now. So let's come with me as we go through this. So based on this is our conflict 3 analysis. All right, these are conflict 3. All right, so if you look at this, these are the branches. All right, a tree has 3 major parts. We have the stem, we have the roots, and then of course we have the branches. All right, so take this as the branches. All right, these are the branches. All right, these are the branches. All right, branches. And then take this red box here to be our what? Stem. All right, and then take this here down to be our what? Our roots. All right, these are our roots. All right, so this is what we're going to use to explain what has happened. So now, based on this particular conflict, we try to identify what is actually the problem of this conflict between Wike and Sim. We wanted to know what is actually the problem between the two of them. All right, because during Wike's administration, Sim served as the Accountant General of the state. All right, and then eventually he emerged as the successor of Honorable Minister Wike. But what has happened that suddenly they fell apart. So we consider the main problems to be struggle for political dominance. All right, that's what we identify as the major problem. Struggle for political dominance. You know, Wike wants to have a total control of Rivers State in his hand. All right, he wants to take charge. In as much as he is the federal minister now in Abuja, he still wants to have control in the state. And the governor is feeling that I am the chief executive officer of the state, so I should be in control. But Wike is feeling that I brought you, I supported you to emerge the governor, and so I should still have control over whatever is happening here, because so far as I'm concerned, you are still my boy, so you should answer to me. Do you understand? So, but this guy is feeling that no, I am the chief executive officer of the state, so I should have control. And so the two of them are struggling to be politically, you know, in control. So this is the issue. This is what we have identified as the issue. But in case you have a contrary view concerning the main problem, then you will comment in the comment section. Let's know your own opinion concerning this particular core matter. This is a core problem. We call it a core problem. All right. So this is our core problem. So, but if you have any contrary view, you can say it in the comment section. All right. So now that we are able to determine the core problem, let's look at the root causes of this problem. All right. What causes this problem? Let's start from this side. Let's look at this. This is what we call this Godfatherism. All right. Godfatherism. I don't know whether you can see it very well. Godfatherism. All right. Godfatherism or political mentorship. Do you understand? All right. Wike felt that I mentored you and I helped you to become the governor of Rivers State. All right. So I am your godfather. So what that means is that he is demanding unalloyed loyalty. All right, from the governor. Do you understand? I helped you, so I still remain in control. All right. So he wants to maintain that, you know, a kind of godfather-son relationship. Do you understand? In politics. So, and this is where the problem is now, because this and godfatherism has been a problem in the Nigerian political system. Do you understand? Where every time we have such issues, even in Lagos, in Benue State, we have former governors fighting with their incumbents simply because they supported them to become governors. So we have been experiencing this in Kano State, in several places. Do you understand? So we have been experiencing this. So the issue of godfatherism in Nigerian politics has been a problem. All right. And this is one of the causes, the root causes of the struggle in Rivers State. All right. Let's look at another reason. Another reason is what I call unholy interference. All right. Unholy what? Interference. All right. How can you be a governor and everything in the state you have no control? That is budget. You must let the minister know before it's been approved. Your allocation, budget, you know, revenue generation, whether internal revenue generation, he wants to know everything. Do you understand? Before you take any step, the appointees are being appointed for you. That is, you have no control over anything. You don't appoint any commissioner, you don't appoint anything. All right? Even domestic staff were appointed for you. So this is what we call unholy interference. All right? So, but because the Honorable Minister wants to have total control so that he will still command that respect, he was doing this because, and that's why some of the commissioners in the government that were on the side of Wike resigned at some point, but the State House Assembly members still continue. Do you understand? So all of this will meddling in the affairs of the government. And of course, as a governor, he felt that, no, that was not right. And by him trying to exert his independence, then causes problem. Do you understand? So that is another, you know, factor, or the root cause of the problem. So let's look at another root cause of the problem. Is what I call power control. Do you understand? The struggle for power control, because the governor is really the chief executive officer of the state, and the minister feels that I'm the minister of the Federal Republic, and so far as I'm concerned, I served as the governor of the state before you, and in fact, I was the one that even supported you to be there. So you are being an ingrate for not, being loyal to me. Do you understand? So I should be in charge, because there was a structure that brought you into power, and then now you want to sideline that structure and maybe also dismantle that structure and set your own. And this is what was happening. And of course, the minister was not okay with that issue, and so he felt that this guy is trying to break his control. Do you understand? And so this became a problem. Do you understand? So power control is another issue, because this guy likes power. Do you understand? He wants to be in power. He wants to be in charge. Do you understand? So this is also a root cause of the problem. Let's look at other causes that also are contributing to what is happening in Rivers State. Resource control. This guy wants to be in charge of everything. He wants to know the revenue allocations. He wants to know how projects are being planned and also implemented. He wants to know the internal generated revenue. Do you understand? The IGF, the IGR. Do you understand? So he wants to know everything. And so he wants to have total control of the resources. That is where the economy, that is where the economic power of Nigeria lies. Do you understand? In River State, this is where we generate our revenue. Do you understand? From the crude oil. Do you understand? So of course, this guy he passed through that place. He knows what is inside. So he wants to see maintain some control. Do you understand? So that you continue to use the resources to be relevant in the state. All right. So that is it. So another possible reason for this problem is what we call loyalty and political structure. All right. There was, Wike actually joined the APC-led government, all right, but he has one of his legs this side, one this side, all right. He still wants to be relevant in PDP and also relevant in APC. That's how strong he is. Do you understand? So, of course, as a result of this, he wants to have the loyalty of his, followers in the state there, and then, of course, there are some struggles. Do you understand? The State House Assembly members going with him, some commissioners going with him, and then some few going with the governor. Do you understand? The judiciary actually in the state somehow with the governor, but the legislature, that's the legislative arm, and then other appointees of the government going with the minister. And so this is also another problem. It creates a division in the system, in the political system in River State, and this all contributed, right, to what we regarded as what struggle for what political control. All right, we have some effects of this problem, and number one of it is governance what disruption. Governance what disruption. There is interruption and disruption and of government functions. Do you understand? As a result of the crisis. Do you understand? Because government is becoming inefficient. All right, and then of course government is becoming very, very, very inefficient, and then nothing is going on. What they are hearing every day is the crisis. So nothing is going on in the system. There is what we call policy paralysis. Do you understand? Nothing is happening. So as a result of that, it's affecting public service delivery. Do you understand? So this is one of the effects of this political struggle. Number two is what we call legal and legislative battles. Do you understand? There have been legal battles here and there, between the minister and the government, and then also there are some impeachment moves here and there. Do you understand? the State House Assembly trying to impeach the governor. So it has been problems. Do you understand? So it has been one legal issue of the other. You know, court injunctions upon court injunctions, and then also the House Assembly members trying to also impeach the governor has been a battle from one angle of the other. So another problem here is what we call public discontent. That is, the public is no longer, the people are no longer happy with what is happening in the state there, all right? People are not just happy with what is happening in the state there now, all right? They don't have confidence in the government again, the state government and its leadership, because people are dissatisfied with the system, because every day is one political crisis, one disagreement, one issue of the other. Do you understand? Sometimes even leading to protests, do you understand? And clashes between the two divides. So it has been a problem, do you understand? So it's one of the effects of this issue. And then we have another effect, which is what we call violence and what? Violence and destruction. Violence and what? Destruction. Violence and destruction. All right? Destruction. You know, so this is what is happening here. All right? There is, political violence here, and there are clashes between the both parties, and then of course, destruction of government properties. All right? Do you understand? You know, if you can remember the burning of the local government secretariats, all right, and of course, then the oil infrastructures that were also being destroyed. Do you understand? So it's as a result of this disagreement. And of course, we look at other rising political tension. You know, the polity in the state there has been so high. Do you understand? Because every day it has been one issue of the other. Do you understand? And all of these culminated into what? The ground effect. The ground effect, which is the emergency rule, the state of emergency that was being declared, is also the effect of this struggle. Do you understand? So it's as if at the end of the day, someone has taken a bunch of somebody's fridge. Do you understand? So this is what it. So at the end of the day, so this is what leads to the emergency rule that was declared by Mr. President, some few days ago. Now, next time when I come now, we'll look at the consequences of this on both the governor and the minister. Are you sure the governor will still come back to government house? It's going to be very, very slim. The chances are very, very slim, because if the minister wants to make it so difficult for him to come back, maybe before at the expiration of 6 weeks, what will happen? Before the 6 weeks expired, or the 6 months expired, you discover that maybe there may be crisis again erupting in the state, maybe destruction of pipelines here and there, one or two, and then the president may still come and say, it seems that those guys are fighting, so let the sole administrator continues for the next 6 months. And they will continue to extend it until, the time. So the chances are very, very slim for him to return to the government house. But we'll look at that in the next video when we continue with the analysis. Do you understand? So based on what we have, observed in this analysis, using the conflict tree analysis too, if you have different opinion or you think there's a point that we didn't cover in this analysis, of course it cannot be holistic. You can still make it in the comment section, all right? And if you enjoy what we have done here, you can share it so that others can see. But I want to say something, and I always say this before, that whenever you want to start conflict or any war, sit down, count your cost, count your gain before you start it, because always know that peace is cheaper than the cost of war. The cost of peace is cheaper than the cost of war. All right, so always calculate your gain and your losses before you start any fight, because it may not end well. All right, and even now it's possible that it seems that maybe someone is winning, all right, but maybe as time goes on, you never can say how the things will be twisted. Do you understand? So but let's see how it goes. All right, so in our next analysis, we can see, maybe we'll also try to see the chances of the governor coming back to government house if he can play one or two roles to make it happen. So we'll bring it out and share with you. So thank you very much, and thank you for being part of this. So just contribute to this discussion and share the video so that others can see it and also contribute to the discourse. Thank you very much. I remain Ambassador Tavli Joshua. I am a conflict analyst, and if you want to join the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management to also learn on how to carry out this kind of analysis, you are welcome. Thank you very much, and have a great day.